All right. We should be all good to go. What is up, everybody, over on the YouTube side? Today we have another world record that we're going to be watching through. This one is Ed and Eddy, The Misadventures by Carter Kirby. Not Toxic Pinhead this time. Toxic Pinhead unfortunately got bopped, and Carter now has the world record. So we're going to see how this plays out, because I haven't watched this record in full yet. Just little bits and pieces, like the most important spots, but I'm really curious, especially since I'm like somewhere in the VOD and he already has a couple of red splits here and there. But Carter's actually in the call with me if you want to go ahead and say, hey, what's up to everybody? And he's going to commentate this with me.
Hello, YouTube. I am Carter Kirby, the current world record holder in Ed, and Eddy, The Misadventures, any percent. I used to have it in all scams in 100%, but a new face named Sporter Games is currently trying to get everything. So competition is tight right now. So this is the any percent run that I did late 2023. I believe it was November of that year. Toxic Pinhead got it sometime in January. I spent about the entire year trying to get it back, and I only beat it by 7 or so seconds. You might notice that there's red on the splits already. I believe that's about 17.
You have a red background, which makes it a little bit more difficult to test.
Looking back on it, not a good idea.
I guess we'll get into whatever happened there. Dude, your VODs were like a lifeline for me, because when I was losing my mind running this game, you were also running this game. So if I would lose a bunch of runs after a stream, after I'd end, I'd go load up Carter Kirby on Twitch, go to the VODs, go to the very end. I'm like, all right, how did he lose his runs today? And I'd be like, oh, okay, I feel so much better now, actually. That's my toxic trait.
It's a pretty universal experience with this game. I remember like back, 2020, a runner named something along the lines of like Dramamine HP, something along those lines. They came in, they had very similar experiences, and they quit the game after a couple of months. And I was like, yep, that to be expected. I've been in this community for over half a decade, and let me tell you, it's mostly just people coming in and dropping the game after a month.
So the two things I want to point out, this game somewhat got like way worse to run, but also a little bit better in certain ways. I'm going to have to see how you do your scam too. So yeah, for guys that haven't seen this game before, there's going to be 6 scams, so 6 levels. And Toxic Pinhead found some tricks with, so each of the Eds have their own ability and formations. And the reason why we're discussing this now before we get into the run is when we get into the run, it is going to be going fast. It's a very short run. So this commentary is going to be useful for now, so we don't have to talk over everything as we get into this. But each one has their own ability. Ed has the batter Ed. That's going to be the main movement option. But Double D has this like Trampa Ed, or what is it called exactly?
It's called Trampa Ed.
Yeah. And it kind of pushes them apart. Like you can actually clip into walls like slightly with it, and then cancel it by getting damage from an enemy. And that actually made a lot of clips that were otherwise like really difficult in the run quite a bit easier. So in a way, the run got easier with it, but it got way more difficult with some of the tricks that we're going to be showing coming up here soon. And that's pretty much the only like things that you need to know. Scam 1, it has it written, Scam 1 Hell. It is the most RNG dependent thing of the whole run. You can easily lose like 15 seconds here.
Honestly, it's basically the only part in the game with RNG.
Yeah. As far as like actual random number generator, yes.
I mean, some of this, the physics in this game is basically RNG within of itself.
Exactly. We'll get into all of that, but I think that's all you guys need to know. Let's go and start this run.
So this is just me putting up the squirrels. I believe I bonked here, so yeah, and I just reset.
Yeah.
I'm just pissed.
Classic.
I'm like, okay. I'm gonna do one more.
All right, hold on, man. Turn down the audio a little bit.
Here I go saying one more run for the night, which that's going to become very important throughout this commentary. Now, if you haven't noticed, this game is kind of like Sonic Heroes. First level, we collect ice cubes to use Rolf's meatball machine or something to make snow cones. I don't remember the lore of this game very well. And the first section of RNG is right here. There's a cat down in the corner with the fence. That's pretty good RNG. You want to get as close to the fence as possible so you can throw it at a dog.
No, the real RNG there is the squirrels. The squirrels can come and attack you.
Okay, they have a trigger. It's like, if you're far enough to it, it'll run to you. So
but if the cat gives you bad RNG, then you're in the triggers. So
You can just kill the squirrel. It's not that big of a deal. Like
It is a huge deal. It's a reset. I'm already resetted. Anyways.
There's use that. Shoot down the dolls. This game, you torture Jimmy a lot.
Yeah.
Here's the squirrels. The main section of RNG in this level. The majority of resets come here. You want to get as close as you can as the window. You got to throw 3 of them in. Stun them with that.
Good first one.
Attack, throw them in.
Beautiful second one.
The RNG here was pretty decent.
That's fine. That's more than fine.
I'd say this is a pretty good split here. 102 or so. That's pretty damn good. I'd say average for me is around like a 108. So.
Yeah, he's got to wait for that ice cube to pop out of there. Then he can fly through here.
Red. So, and then here's the pigs. This is
the worst. Because if you get good squirrels and you don't get good pigs, it's terrible.
I mean, I usually go for the second pig here, as that first one will sometimes kind of run close to the fence, and it's easier.
Yeah.
It's that one to the right that I usually have to worry about, and here I got pretty lucky with it.
If you don't get good squirrels, I pretty much bank on it, like going in.
Yeah.
Oh, you definitely wanted the other one there.
I mean, that only lost like 2 seconds, and then we can operate on the meatball machine. Bam, level 1's already complete. Let's go.
Yeah, that's actually a really good split. Anything below 150 is a really good split.
I think.
Yeah.
An hour and a half into the stream, it's the first time I think I've been green out of any split.
I'm not sure if they could hear that, but that was the first time I was green that stream.
I definitely had a stream. Oh wait, real quick. He's gonna do that damage abuse thing that we were talking about earlier to do the trample ed, and then he gets damage from that goo. Basically waiting for his iframes to end, and then right when they end, he gets damage as he clips to the wall.
So there we go, out of bounds, hit a trigger for a checkpoint, die, then we respawn the checkpoint. It saves maybe about 10 seconds.
This should work.
I haven't really like timed how much saved.
But that first split, like I've had a stream where I think I've reset for an hour to an hour and a half just trying to get through it.
Oh, and there I accidentally tower already.
Yeah, I've done that before.
This game seems to drop inputs a lot. I have a feeling there's like somewhat of a glitch. If you input too fast, it just drops it.
Yeah.
And then other times it doesn't. Like sometimes I'll input like within 5 frames. It feels like that, and then just like it switches. And other times it doesn't.
There's certain things about this game that feel really good to play, and then other things that just don't. Like you just get punished for kind of playing too fast.
All right, coming up is one of the hardest skips in the run. So we line Ed up into a corner here, jump Eddy on top of it.
Oh, you're going for this strat. This strat's awful.
This is required for record, you know?
It is now.
I mean, it always was, honestly.
Toxic didn't do it.
Oh, really? What? Is not?
He did the rat strat.
Oh, yeah, the rat strat's a thing.
Yep.
I've never tried the rat strat, honestly.
I think you can still get a sub 19 with the rat strat, but yeah, this is faster.
You can. I lose so much time throughout this run. Like, as you can tell, I'm already losing over 10 seconds here because I don't hit that fast. But overall, that was still about the same length as rat. Quick, I think, the rat clip.
Am I allowed to take credit for the strat in this section? Or is that somebody else?
I mean, I believe you kind of like accidentally discovered something relating to that. I remember doing it a little bit accidentally in like the second section of the boss here, and I go for it here, and something very unfortunate happens.
Let's see.
I hit two. I believe it's right here. Oh no, okay, never mind. I guess I just I guess I missed it. Or is it the third one? I don't remember. It's been a while.
It should be the third one, I think.
Yeah, and then I hit it too early.
Okay.
So what he's trying to do here? Oh yeah, right there on that first balloon he shot. You're trying to hit it so early that she takes damage for it.
I won't reset.
But like she doesn't move, and then she'll still be standing in the spot and get hit by 2 of the like beehives at once.
Yeah, but there I hit it too early,
Yeah.
and it missed her. So she's had to stand there. I had to wait for it to respawn. I lost like what 5 seconds. It's
I really doubted.
That big of a deal.
Yeah, I really doubted I was the first person to find that, because as a speedrunner, you want to be fast there. So somebody speedrunning this had to.
I think the thing with that is that like most people just assumed that it was too early.
Right.
And they reset.
This record's still record, so.
Like, I don't know. I believe it happened to be in like the second or third section of that boss, and there it's not faster, so.
And then you're gonna go for the trampa ed here?
Yeah, I go for the squirrel clip. Yeah, I believe I hit it quickly.
Yeah, he's waiting for this
The visual
squirrel to
cue that I use
like
there
twitch
is,
out,
try.
and then use
I've
it like an
never
audio
trialed
cue,
it,
visual
so.
cue to get through there.
Yeah, it's a visual cue. You wait for the squirrel to like shake, like move, like tilt slightly, and that's when I go for it, depending on how close the heads are to.
Also, yeah, sorry about the screen
this
here for
clip.
a second, guys. If he gets the
Epilepsy
clip
warning,
quickly,
yeah.
you know, you won't have to deal with it.
This game's got epilepsy warnings all over it.
Yeah.
I don't think I hit this that fast. No, he goes.
It was okay. It could have been worse.
I believe I hit that slow enough to lose time over. Oh yeah.
Oh wait, did you get stuck in here? Wait.
Usually what happens is
Oh,
that
wait.
double D goes to the side and you can just do that, but double D
Oh,
was
are you
back,
still not out?
to where I
That's
put them
fine.
in. So I had to Tower of Eddy, reset them, then Trample Ed, and then Batter Ed
I'll
to get
continue
out.
until I.
It's
feel
really
like
hard to explain when it's happening so
Maybe I'll just
fast.
Play it out.
Yeah, and also
Um,
it's really hard to explain even if you're not feeling it. But like that whole segment there is just weird. But
Here's
you can
a little
usually
AI manipulation. We jump around
I'll
the
probably put
area
some
to trigger them to move, which will allow us to formation up.
20
Usually, got to
seconds
go
there.
around, activate the tractor, which you might have briefly seen. It's to the left.
This
of
run
the
probably
bridge.
can't record anymore.
Yeah.
And and there I am saying I can't record anymore.
Really well from here on
it's
out.
impossible. He'll never get world
Of course,
record.
you know, play
He
well.
never gets world record. Still
There's a
has
bunch of
world
little
record
skips in
this
this. This segment has like the most like little skips because you can't like just skip to the end. You have to like do a bunch of little things.
I mean, there was, I believe Toxic did discover like a 10-second time save with something very similar to Goat Float.
Right.
But like, I mean, it's a one frame and you kind of have to do like very specific maneuvers with Eddy. It's hard to explain because it doesn't happen in this run. But if you first person with Eddy while in like that float state, and you turn your camera to the right while in first person, Eddy will kind of like go sideways and you can kind of like move him and you can clip your fences. and
Fuck
stuff.
you! That could actually been.
That's really, really rare.
Yeah, it is.
This run is god awful. I'll probably.
I'm just shitting on this run left and right. Usually I'm okay with not getting hit by that.
damage
rat, but
abuse?
it had to be on this run. Damage abuse saves 2 seconds. Honestly, it
I'll see how
barely
this
saves
goes.
any time, if any. It's just kind of a cool thing to do.
Yeah, it just looks cool.
I'll
Yeah,
see how the
I
next
don't
one
even know if it
works
saves
out.
too much because you have to wait for Johnny cycles.
The game stuttered
Nice
here, which
lag
is
spike.
weird. I've never had that happen other than there.
Yeah, I thought your game just or like the VOD crashed. I thought something terrible just happened, but it was.
Yeah, I thought I
that
looked at
was-
the I looked at the input display. You'll notice how I like let go of the stick for a minute, and then I hold it again when the game unfreezes. I'm like, huh? What the?
There you
Here,
have
I
to be.
Batter Red to get.
It'd be kind of tricky and.
because then you can bonk there if you're not careful.
Oh my god, this is fucking hilarious.
I think Toxic. I might be
this one is
incorrect.
probably
I think he
bad.
might actually stop batter adding there and then
Really
like
fast.
continue.
If I don't,
I
hit it,
don't
think
because I
it's
like going for style points.
Yeah, yeah. But
Here
the
we
camera
go,
angle's
Pink
super
Canna,
weird, though.
Gimme. Yeah, I mean, I remember kind of getting it consistently.
Oh my gosh.
Camera angle.
Jimmy tried
here,
trolling you
I
there.
think I accidentally bonk here. I might. Nope. And then you can bonk during this cutscene. You won't get caught by Jimmy and Sarah here.
And it puts you perfectly on cycle.
Yeah, and then you have Kevin here. If you go, there's a glitch here that'll sometimes happen. I don't know if it happens here, but sometimes
But
if
it's actually
you
almost
batter
that
in
way.
a specific spot there, it'll just cancel, and you have to like either wait for the cycle or just risk it.
Quick. All right.
And
If
here
I don't
is
hit
the
this
hardest
fast,
part
I'll
of the
reset.
run: the goat
Yep.
float. This was
Oh,
discovered
boy.
by Toxic Pinhead back around January 2023, and because of the skip, I played this category for almost a year, getting the record back.
It's
I ended up the
So
failed
bad.
attempts that were PBs were a 2003
Right now, you
and a
just get a really
1929,
fast
which are the
delay
splits I'm
here.
running against.
all right. We can actually go
So-
back and like play this one a couple times because it's
I
there's
bonked
quite a
it, but
That
bit.
hitbox
Doesn't
is
matter.
really
There's a
dumb.
lot going on here, but I do.
Okay,
still
okay.
go
Here,
for it.
actually, let's just
Go
like
back,
kind of
yeah.
pause through this and like explain the setup.
So this is
Nice
hard.
bonk.
So
I feel like that
there's
hit-
this corner here, which is kind of weird with how the collision works. Not like that really matters for how this is set up, but what we're trying to do here, we are trying to get the batter red formation on the exact same frame that Eddy dies. Because if one of the Eds touches the water, all three of you dies. You all share the same health bar.
Right.
So if Eddy dies on the exact same frame you batter red, the game kind of gets confused. I'm not sure about the logistics, but it kind of like puts you all together. I call it the float state. I don't really know if there's a term for it. And what you can do is that if you reposition the Eds, you can first person as a character, and the other Eds will kind of just fly. You can do this for funny reasons, like if you want to launch Ed out of the stratosphere and to go outside the skybox, you can do that. But in this case, we're using it to skip about 2/3 of the level. So near the end of this level, there is a mini boss with Victor, a goat, best character in the game. So what we're doing is that we're getting Double D to hit the checkpoint that'll spawn us there, and then we do this maneuver where we shoot a water balloon, and he'll fall down into the death zone trigger beneath the map, and then we respawn at the fight, and we can just finish the level from there.
Well, I'll re-clarify everything as we go through here, but the main points to think about here is that what he's trying to do right now is he's trying to push one of the Eds off the side here, and they need to die the same frame that he does a formation.
Hitbox is really dumb.
I believe
And that's going to
it's
put them
one
into a
frame.
weird like zombie state. And that's going to like cause all the physics to get messed up. And he's going to go into first person afterwards once he gets in that glitchy state, and ideally launch Double D like through the air. So here he goes. Dies right there. Tries to go in the same frame.
I hit it first
and he gets it first try.
and I don't even readjust. This run is shit enough to where I don't even think about readjusting. I just send it.
Right. Yeah. So normally you'd go for a certain setup here, but instead he just launches Double D, no setup, doesn't care. Normally you'd want a decent setup here for a little bit more consistency. This trick is anything but consistent. So he gets it first try, frame perfect trick, first try, just goes for it. And you want to, I mean, he could go any angle here. At this point, he could be going off here. He could be going off there, like.
It usually depends on what Double D's angle is. And usually I notice that if he's like facing like northwest, to where I like it, I just send it like this.
You got good, decent speed too. Like the speed's not bad.
See how this goes.
I would have preferred it to be slightly faster.
Yeah.
But this is about as fast as I can get without kind of like missing the trigger and not being able to.
Well, yeah, this gives you enough time to redirect him. If it's too fast, you might miss it. But now there's no way you miss this. So, I mean, obviously you don't.
We hit this invisible wall, and
I
count 2 little pillars here.
2,
2, 3,
and then on 4.
Fourth.
Boom.
And you might want to pay attention to the input display there.
Right.
I kind of like angle him. Like
I'm covering the input display.
I am in parallel to where the pillar where he's angling, and then I'll put him in the death zone. We hit the cutscene trigger, and we battle red, and we go back to the normal state. And we
after he did this, he basically flew underneath and hit the trigger for the fight. As he's flying too low, and eventually you fly so low that you just hit the death trigger. So he hit the checkpoint trigger, hits the death trigger, respawns here. And then he needs to reformation to get out of that weird glitchy state. And he has to do that because you saw Eddy fly all the way to the left here. If he was any slower, Eddy would be too far away to do the formation, because you cannot do a formation if the Eds are too far away. So there's been times where I've hit this trick, but failed it because I didn't do the formation quickly enough afterwards.
Here's something weird that can happen is that Eddy will sometimes like launch to the edge of the little like island here.
I went down fast.
I don't know why that happens. It's just because of the glitchy state. And then this is the very slow part of the run. We just race Kevin with the battery. This is very simple. So this is like the point in like the speedrunning marathon where they'd read donations.
Yeah. Well, initially we thought the goat float. I guess the initial Ed float. We initially wanted to get to the end of this race. But getting to that trigger was much more consistent and much faster.
It wasn't
actually.
the end. It wasn't to the end. We wanted to hit the Kevin cutscene, and then we just kind of.
You're right. You're right. It was.
But that was even harder to hit. I believe I never even hit that once.
No, I've never hit it either. And Toxic only hit it once.
Yeah, the first time I got close, I was too high above the cutscene trigger, which I didn't even know there was a height limit for those things.
Whether this friend dies or not. It's been a pretty successful day of attempts.
So we're almost done with the 4th level, and then the 5th level is the shortest level in the game, speedrunning wise. You just do a trick and you skip the level. It's very simple.
Yeah.
It's not too complicated to explain, but I'm gonna try my best because it happens so quick. So there's a buzzsaw that you activate at the end of the level when all the cankers move, and those are the girls that you're gonna see above in front of the saw, and it allows you to.
Oh my gosh.
You know. Oh, shit,
1 second.
Kelly,
thank you for the raid.
I'm trying to talk as best I can.
Run it back.
So if we jump Double D behind the trigger, behind the table here, because there's no trigger behind you, and then jump into the trigger and activate on the buzzsaw while he's dying, you can activate the buzzsaw and skip the level. And then that
we're running back one more time. One more time.
If you want to like slow it down, that might be nice.
Dude, maybe slowing it down would be good. So this is actually like the longest level in the game, and it's the shortest one for the speedrun. Maybe it's not the longest.
No. Even in 100%, I believe this level is shorter than
maybe a little bit faster.
Because like an 90% Scam 6 still takes 6 minutes.
Yeah, guys, we're just we're watching back
so-
through this Ed and Eddy
so-
world record and doing some commentary on it. So for people
The
tuning in
Kanker's
right
on the
now.
left there. The Kanker's on the left there. I can name him if you want. If you want me to.
No, it was all good.
So, usually there's a death trigger in front of them to where
Yes.
if you get too close without giving them a present, which is the goal of the level, you'll just die as the Kankers will sexually harass you and
Right.
make out with you.
Right.
Man, 90s cartoons were different, weren't they?
How tight is the input here for this?
I don't know. I think it's very angle dependent.
Yeah.
But if behind the table where the little poster of the bunny is, I don't know how the hell that even got inside this abandoned mansion to begin with.
Right.
There's no trigger at the very corner, or like kind of like near the little like near the thing next to the furnace, some closet-ish. I don't really care.
Yeah.
So if you jump and you hug close enough to that closet, you won't hit the death trigger. And sometimes you can just walk past the trigger. Like sometimes you can just walk in front of the furnace and it will just work.
Right.
And then you go back into the corner and you can do one of two things. You can either kind of angle yourself to get the best possible angle, or you can just full send it, jump, and just hope for the best, which is what I do here.
Yeah.
Typically, I get it to work when Double D is kind of facing left to the saw. So like you'll notice like here.
So he's gonna jump
wall.
over. He's basically just jumped around a trigger. He would have gotten caught right there. He's gonna go into the corner and then jump towards this machine, which still has the trigger active, and then he's gonna hit it and just end the level. But before he gets caught by the Kanker sisters.
Yeah, so
and
corner
boom.
jump and bam, and then you spam the operate button, and you kind of just hope he hits it. In that case, I got it first try. And then the run actually had somewhat of a shot. You can see my best possible time is better than the record at this point. Now,
Nice little gold there.
Coming up is one
Here
of
we go again.
a skip that I personally find difficult, as I hadn't really practiced it a whole ton. I practiced it a couple of times. It's not that bad once you get a consistent setup for it. But here what we want to do, we want to do another one of those damage trampoline clips. Typically what I do, I hit him, do this, and just kind of pray he gets hit.
Fuck. Okay,
He does, but
dead.
head doesn't clip in. Happens again,
Ah,
clips in,
oh
and the dog bites again, and I
no.
die.
And then again.
So you only get 4 hits on this dog before he dies. So you want to make sure you get this thing 3 hits.
Oh,
or
one
less.
more try.
Otherwise-
Oh, I think you have to die again, don't you?
Dude.
Yeah, you have to die
Thank
again,
you.
basically.
Okay, I'm
Because
gonna-
when you're
I'm
second
gonna-
trample it down, it's just faster to die at that point. And I lose a considerable amount of time.
What?
And
I
the
don't even
dog
know-
is nearly
I still
dead.
don't know how that one doesn't work.
I don't know how
The,
the fuck
oh my gosh, the dog is nearly dead at this
That's
point too,
GG's.
so you can't just keep
I'm pretty
going.
sure I can't even hit him again now. I just gotta hope for the best.
Wow,
And
you got
there he
so
finally
lucky.
goes
Okay,
in.
well, I lost 30 seconds.
Oh
That's
my
fine, so.
god.
And I lose 30 seconds.
Oh
It's
my
just-
god.
I had to play this risky. I'm forced to.
this run was
I don't even
shit.
see PB anymore.
Okay, you
Genuinely
should just
the
jump for the
reason
map
this record is
piece, low
because
key.
Go Float was first try. And I don't know how much help I have at this point, so
Oh.
I don't hit the electric fence here. You can sometimes hit the map piece if you jump on the
go
electric
over here.
fence, but since health is low at that point and you can't see your health because of the cutscene
Good.
stance the game is in because of the
Yeah.
Scam 5 skip, you can't see your own health. And you won't
At
see
least
it
you got
again
the
until
dog to
after the
aggro you
cutscene.
there, because that could have been really
Yeah.
sketchy coming around here as double
Yeah,
D.
you would have to like go around. I would have had to hit it 4 times. Then this was sketchy. This was.
Oh my god.
I probably say the word fuck like 30 times here, and I do end up getting hit.
Yeah, you did
Almost
take a
died.
hit, but
I'm
you
just
picked
like,
up
you know,
health
fuck it,
already.
We send it. So that works. I end up killing the dogs
Okay.
here.
Well, I definitely thought it was gonna bomb there. Holy fuck.
Here you operate here, and then you're safe now because once you go past that gate, there's a checkpoint, and it does not matter if you die now. So I don't care at this point. I just hit the stuff.
I don't even know what hit though.
And if I die, I don't really
Bro,
care.
this run's
I don't-
insane, actually. I thought this was gonna be like a clean, like the cleanest, just like
No, I don't even think I gold this split, which is
Bro,
funny
this is
because I gold on this
insane.
split is also has a bad dog.
I just gotta play this risky. I'm forced
the most
to.
like
I'm-
insane
gotta go fast
scam
enough.
4.
Oh, come on.
And the rest of the run was shit.
And then
Scam
this is so scuffed.
So here I'm forced to play this obstacle course risky. Sometimes you can go with double D, hit everything, die, respawn, and then just do Tower of Eddy. But it saves time if you just go with Tower of Eddy.
Yeah.
You can stop on that little mud pile right here.
Always harass them.
And you got to be careful because sometimes the Eds will launch. I typically get into that like setup to where they don't hit each other, and I maneuver myself around. And then I go here,
Wait, I can't help you with that.
hit these, and then I go back to Eddy, do the formation, I missed it once. I think.
Well, at least all the enemies clear themselves off the platform. These little grass platforms here. That's
Sometimes
really
they
lucky
don't,
because
sometimes they don't, and you can get really unlucky, and you'll get hit. And the
if you go through here as Tower of Ed, okay, and say there's an enemy on this platform he's walking on, and he gets attacked, well, then it's going to cancel the formation, but you still maintain momentum on that mud, and that mud can push you into the death plane. And if you go into the death plane with one of the Eds, then you're dead on all of them, and you have to go reset the entire section. So it can spiral out of control fast.
And that's why the goat float and TF4 works. It's the same concept. So, here's something interesting. Since we're in the slow section right now, on the PS2 version of the game, sometimes the death triggers for the water don't work at all, and you'll just get stuck in there.
Really?
That happened to me plenty of times.
Never had that happen.
Because it's only on the PS2 version, that's why. Every version of this game has a different build for some reason. I don't know if that's like kind of a widespread thing amongst games, but the PS2 version is
much better.
out of all the versions. So, and then here I kind of missed the box. It only was like 2 seconds.
Normally you're supposed to go through this section with all the Eds. But
there's a developer oversight because you only need double D to activate the last thing.
Right.
Just gonna jump here, activate the thing, and then we get one last Victor battle.
10 seconds here.
Victor is very dumb.
All right, I'm gonna lose.
Victor is very simple. It's kind of just
it's
like
gonna be tough, but it's possible.
Hit it with Battle Red. He launches back. Do this a couple times, and bam, you're done with the boss fight.
Yep.
Here we got launched really far. I was hoping he'd die there, but
nah. Unfortunate.
And you want to hit no there because for some reason that text box asking if you want to find him again defaults to yes. You only want to say yes at 100%.
Right.
Because you can get a jawbreaker if you and a ton of coins, which help with getting the.
Oh my god! What the fuck is the camera doing?
Collectible jawbreakers at the end of the run. And then here's a simple little obstacle course. Recently, I did some glitch hunting here to see if I could skip to the end, which unfortunately the timer on the top makes it really hard.
Yeah,
that's true. It would have been a similar setup to Goat Float, unfortunately. So that just kind of made it just like not worth it.
Oh, you're not going for the wall clip here.
No, I believe I don't know if wall clip was kind of like did Toxic do the dog clip here in his run? Because like here
I don't know if he did, but I did.
I remember because honestly the last dog clip did not go well. Why was I gonna do that again, you know?
Yeah.
Like what if it ended up the same way? Because this could still PB by a considerable amount, the best possible times. Like, it's still record. So here is just one last like Battle Red section. It's one of the easiest sections.
I would recommend doing it for your future attempts, just because it's not too bad at all. It saves a lot.
Dogs, like, and then here, and then this is the final boss of the level. So what we do, we
immediately canceled.
Because I got hit by the heart.
I didn't kill.
Immediately.
I got hit by the fucking squirrel.
Okay.
You pick up barrels, throw it at targets, and then you Battle Red, and you I got hit again there, but it doesn't matter. Then you do that. Do that 4 times. During I believe it was my
what the fuck?
19. I don't remember what run it was, but I ended up losing world record because if the barrels get hit, like if you get hit with the ad as you're carrying the barrel and the barrel lands on the ground, its physics will be kind of fucked up and it'll throw weird sometimes. So I threw it at the target, but I literally overshot it. Like it went over and I lost a minute. And record was dead at that point. That was upsetting.
Yeah, you don't want to mess around in the section too much. It can go bad so quick.
But this is the end of the run.
And yeah, time's about to happen like right after he hits this.
And then I'm just like, okay, don't overshoot. I didn't overshoot. And
Finally!
I ended up getting 1906. And that's the current record today.
Oh, fuck yes!
You should have seen the 2051.
To be fair, dude, you grinded so hard for this.
Oh, you should have seen the 2051 pop off. That one was so much. Just like that was
10,200 attempts.
Yeah, I decided to end it off at at 100. I thought, why not? I'll play out the run, and that ended up being a good idea. And Toxic Pinhead was in the chat the whole time.
Was he? Of course he. That's funny.
Like he was just lurking there, like.
Yeah. Well, dude, awesome run, man. But